Hey, what's up YouTube? OpTic here bringing you another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about shot calling in Gears of War, and specifically Gears of War 4, kind of my thoughts, my opinions on it, what makes a good shot caller, what are some good traits of a good shot caller, and also kind of theory craft with you guys about how the game can be improved in terms of having a really great shot caller and in-game leader and some examples of that. So first thing, what are some of the traits that make a good in-game leader? Well, you need somebody who's very vocal. You need somebody who's not afraid to step up and take control of a situation, communicate their thoughts, their ideas, somebody who's very observant of their surroundings, what their teammates are doing, what the other team is doing, and then somebody who can make good calculated decisions and understands the game really well. So you don't want somebody who has great communication skills but doesn't understand the game as well. You want somebody who has kind of that total package. And one of the main issues is that a good shot caller usually sees a decrease in their gameplay because you're focusing on gathering so much information from like the environment around you and then processing that and making the right decision for your entire team and then communicating that decision while also trying to play the game. And I'm sure many of you have experienced when you get into that intense fight or that intense 1v1 or that intense situation and it's hard to really communicate what's going on. You might forget to call out how many people you see or where you are, how hurt they are, and stuff like that. So a shot caller is really important for a team. Being able to step up and take that in-game leadership role is really crucial for any team that's trying to go pro because it does offer some organization and you can't just run around like it's a ranked match or a public match. You have to have some coordination within your team and you have to have that in-game leader who's going to provide that coordination, who's going to tell you how to rebound when you lose your setup, tell you how to break the other team's setup, tell you how to hold a 2-cap or when to push for a 3-cap, things like that. So it's really important to have that really good shot caller and in-game leader. Now, because I'm familiar with League of Legends and many of you know that, I'm going to use League of Legends as an example of kind of a theory I have of how Gears of War can be improved in shot calling. So right now, using my team for an example, we have Explosive as kind of our main in-game leader, and he'll be the one who calls whether we push forward or whether we fall back. He's usually the most vocal person on the team. Everyone kind of offers insight and everybody can make a play call, but Gilbert's kind of like the final say. He's the one who makes like the final decision or is the one who's usually making the play calls. So in that regards, he's typically the shot caller of our team. You take a team like Envy where you have Franchise, especially throughout all of Gears of War UE, where he was the main shot caller of that team. And it showed they were a really organized and team that played really together, which allowed them to be as successful as they were. And it was due, in my opinion, to Fran's leadership and his game knowledge and his ability to make the right decision or call for the right play at the right time. So going back to the League of Legends example, there's a team that came into the pro scene, the LCS, by the name of Quantic, and they were soon picked up by Jack Entienne, I don't remember how to pronounce his last name, who had just left TSM and formed the organization that we now know as Cloud9. And when this team came into the LCS as Cloud9, they came in kind of untouched throughout the entire Challenger series, and they looked like a good force and could be a dominant force. They were all North American talent, which was still kind of a thing, but teams were starting to import a little bit back then. And they came in and just completely dominated the entire pro scene. They beat everybody. They dominated that LCS split. They dominated the next one. They dominated the next one. They were such an unbeatable force in the LCS. And it was due to, I would say, a major part, not only their skill as players, but due to Hai, their team captain, and their shot caller's leadership abilities. Now, Hai did a lot more than just call out or say a play that they possibly could do or present ideas or just say what he saw in front of him. He did all of that, but he gave a very detailed shot calling experience. He basically made every decision for the team and micromanaged everybody on his team in order to kind of move the pieces of the puzzle as he needed them. He was like a chess master, right? Playing a game of chess while also playing the game of League of Legends. So while he was doing his thing and playing, farming in mid lane and playing the mechanics of the game, he was also watching everything that his team was doing, watching everything that the other team was doing, and then making the play calls. Oh, we need to do this. We need to not do this. We need to watch out for this. In 3 minutes, we can do this. They're probably going to go for this. We can counter by doing this. He was so in touch with everything that was going on that his decision making and his shot calling and his confidence in being that leader of that team because of their longevity together allowed him to be just so amazing and beyond anything that we're familiar with in terms of League of Legends shot calling. And his ability to micromanage, for example, in fights, when fights were going down, he would call what targets to focus, what targets to, switch to and focus second, which ones, like when it was time to fight, when it was time to run away from the fight, when it was time to re-engage a fight. He was so just on top of everybody. He would tell people when to use their abilities or when to engage or when to not engage, rather than leaving the decision up to them, because then he knew, and the team knew, that everyone would be on the exact same page and there would be no hesitation and no timing issues and no trust issues that sometimes come even with a team that's been together for a long time. So imagine a team for Gears of War or any other first-person shooter, but specifically for Gears of War, where you have that shot caller that can do the same things that High does. So using Gears of War, for example, the shot caller who sits there and says, okay, we've killed 3 of them, let's make our setup. If you see someone push your side over there, Timmy, then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate over, or we're going to push around and take their home, or something, whatever the play is. I'm just trying to make it up a scenario. But imagine that level of shot calling in Gears of War. I was having a talk with Benson about this the other day, and I think the team that perfects that, right? Because what that's going to do is that's going to provide a team with complete dominance, or at least complete control over their own team, allowing them to have complete dominance in the aspect of teamwork. There's going to be no team that can touch them in terms of teamwork, because they're all going to be on the same page, because it's a hive mind. And what that means is it's everyone thinking on the same page because they're being told what to do. You can't have a differing thought or opinion because you're following what your leader's telling you to do. And that's why Cloud9 was so successful. Yes, the players were very talented and very good, but they were all following orders from one person. So he knew exactly what everybody was doing at every time, and everybody else knew what everybody was doing at every time. And it allowed for them to be so cohesive and working so well together that it was just hard to break that, especially for other North American teams. It helped influence the whole desperation of importing players from other regions in order to beat this team. So imagine having something like that in Gears of War, where you have 5 players on a team. One player might sacrifice some of his gun skill, so put him in a supportive role, but he sees everything. He reads the other team, like I talked about in one of my other videos, how to read in Gears of War. He reads the other team and then maneuvers his players and his teammates around and himself around in order to react to what the team is doing. And he calls that out. He communicates that quickly and efficiently. He finds phrases and strat names that work for his team to be able to communicate what they need to do at specific times. It would cause efficiency. It would cause very precise and accurate rotations. It would cause extremely accurate and deadly team fire. It's just unbelievable to think about a team that, at least if they were able to have the gun skills of a pro level team, think about a team at that level of shot calling and communication. It's scary, because I don't know what would beat that other than just being at the same level as them and maybe better in gun skill. So I know this is kind of an odd discussion and it's more of me just theory crafting with you guys, but let me know what you think down in the comments below about this whole idea of shot calling. Hopefully for those of you who are on competitive teams out there, you can use these traits to maybe identify a good shot caller for your team if you're struggling in that avenue, and that might help you reach another level of success. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. I upload every day, and I will see you all in the next video.